Hi, this is Victoria, and this is my audio reflection questions video. I did have to change because it is freezing in my home. So let's get started. What went well? What is the evidence of children's learning and participation for what went well? Think about children's learning through language and literacy skills linked to the objectives and standards for the lesson, as well as your own teaching. Practices and strategies for learning and classroom management, behavior throughout the lesson to encourage and support children's learning. So I think some things that went well is like I got there, children saw me, they recognized me, and they were excited for what I had. The teachers had been talking to them that I would be coming into the classroom and doing something fun with them. We were going to learn about fish, so they had already been talked about that, and they knew what was going to happen. They kind of knew what to expect, and so I had children ready to learn and just not kind of like, whoa, who are you, I think that reviewing letters and sounds, especially for their age, because they're just 3, they're so young and they're still learning everything. By next year, they will know all these things, but it's just still kind of, we're into the full swing of things now, but I think that it just takes time, and that's just part of the process, is like a lot of repetitive stuff and learning and not giving up. This is when children learn the most. And so kind of going over the word fish and like, oh, what's the beginning sound? Fish, and like they were doing that by themselves on their own. I didn't like tell them to do that. They knew how to recognize beginning sounds, and that already is such a huge leap. Some strategies I used for the management of the children and behavior throughout the lesson is I would tell children, good job. Wow, you glued that very well. Oh, yep, you cut the fish out of the magazine. Good job. Just encouraging them that they are doing the right thing. I think it's hard to just when you tell children you can do whatever you want, they're kind of like, whatever. It's like, yeah, you can. Go crazy. Use your imagination. We didn't really have any behavior issues. I think one time in the video we can see one of the girls gets just a little. She gets kind of all attentive because I think her friend was taking something from her, her friend was gluing something onto the poster where she wanted to glue something, and that got her attention, and she raised her voice, and I was like, okay, well, this is a really big poster. We can find something else and somewhere else to put this fish, and that's exactly what we did, and that was the end of it, and it worked out, and it didn't happen again. I just encouraged them to work together, which I didn't really have to tell them to. They automatically just grouped up and did it, so that was really cool to see. And they were just talking away and they got lost in the project, so that was really awesome. What would I do differently? I think I didn't really know where they were at with their fine motor skills, and I think I would have maybe had, if I could have the choice, had the 5 or 6 students in one classroom to myself, because it was hard to talk and hear because there were 15 other students in the classroom. Or next time I could just do all the students, but then I would need the help of other teachers, which is fine, but this was a small group. I think I would definitely prepare the cutting earlier if we're going to be gluing so many things onto a poster board. I guess I didn't really think about that. I was expecting them to be able to cut a little more skillfully, but I needed to help all of them with cutting. They did try themselves, and obviously it's not going to be the best job, but they still did very good, and I expressed how well they did. I think for materials and process setup, yeah, that's what I talked about. And I think maybe I would just emphasize more on the language and literacy even more than what I did. So they can just kind of understand, like, okay, I had one of the children tell me that he was confused like 3 times, and I couldn't really understand what he was saying, but he said, "I'm confused." And then he was like, "We're doing this with the wrong person. Like, you're the wrong person." And I was like, "Well, what do you mean by that?" I was like trying to figure everything out. I'm like, "The wrong person." And then I said, "You're right. I don't come in here." And then he mentioned how he remembers I came into the classroom a long, long time ago. And I was like, yeah, it has been a long time. It was like a month since I did my observation to now, which is insane. Almost a month. Like, the last time I went in was almost October, and then now is the end of October. So, but yeah, it was super cool. And yeah, I just wish I could understand him, and I tried my best to like help him. I was like, "Oh my goodness, what are you confused about?" So yeah, maybe next time I'll ask a teacher for help. But there were like so many kids, and the teachers needed to be everywhere, and yeah, I didn't want to make it too hard. And then based on my observations of children's learning in this lesson, what would I plan to continue to support and challenge children's language and literacy skills? What would the next activity lesson be? Think about including classroom materials, activities in the classroom, as well as family involvement opportunities. So I think for these kids that I worked with, just recognizing initial sounds, recognizing letters, working on that, and I would do like short sight words to get them to recognize these short words, which takes time but can definitely be done. And then by the end of the preschool school year, they will be able to recognize all these things, and it will be very successful. That's what I would do. And I don't know, for their next classroom activity lesson, I think I would maybe like, I don't really know, but I'm not sure. Just kind of do those like lesson plans that are focused on literacy and numbers and counting and sounds and something like that. And it could be anything. I think that would be fun. But I think the kids, this was their first like collage experience, and I think they liked it because they had so much free reign on their collage, and it was awesome. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this went, and I look forward to doing more. I'm so sorry. Oh my goodness.